We know from interviews with Lindsay, Kylie's mom, that Friday was pretty normal. She said she woke up and was just really talking about the overnight camping stay she was supposed to be going on Saturday night, which was the next day. Saturday morning, she was supposed to be meeting someone to go on a hike, and then I'm just going to assume this, the same person that she was meeting up with to go on the hike was probably the same person that she was going to be camping somewhere with. I don't do camping, so I don't know how all that works. I'm just going to assume that because that makes logical sense to me. But the plan for Friday was for her to spend time with her family. She was supposed to be at a car show or something car related with her family, and there was no talks of the party. It was a very last minute decision. So it's not like these girls got together and planned who was riding with who and all this other stuff that girls that age do for party. This was a very last minute thing for her to decide to go to this party. So we don't know what time of day Lindsay and Kiely would have separated, but she did spend a few hours with her friend Kate Kuno. Now, I mentioned that this was Mags in my first video, which that was my bad, but it was Kate Kuno that she spent a few hours with in the afternoon on Friday, and they baked creme brulee, which is just a little strange that two teenage girls wanted to get together and bake creme brulee on a Friday afternoon, but okay. Now we get into the evening hours where we have the still shot of her on the surveillance camera at 6:08 in a little store that is said to be about 10 miles south of the campground. Now again, I'm just going to put two and two together here. I'm going to guess this was a place close to Kylie's actual house, because Kiely apparently lived about 12 miles south of the campground. But there's so many questions that come with this photo because we don't know who, what, where, when, and why, literally, of anything. Was she still hanging out with Kate at 6:08? Was Kate with her at this store? Was she already with Mags? Was Mags with her at this store? Is this the store where the alcohol that was in the car that her and Sammy kept going back to and drinking? Is this the store where it was bought? But therein lies the beginning of the 4-hour gap. Because we are being told that Kiely and Mags got to the party around 10 p.m. And that's 4 hours, guys. That's 4 freaking hours. Now, Sammy apparently gets to the party at 9 p.m. Who brought her? Who took Sammy to the party? Because unlike Kiely, where hers was a complete last-minute decision, Sammy had been planning to go to this party. So who did she already have pre-plans with to take her, to bring her home, hang out with her the whole time? Who? Who was it? So by 9:30, the campers on the other side of the campground can start seeing all the massive amounts of cars coming in for this party. And I'm going to show you here the map that was on Grizzly's live today, Grizzly True Crime live today, because it shows the actual location of the party. Now, the one that I had in my video, I thought was the actual location from Google Maps that shows the pinpoint for the campground by the two the two cleared off areas, and then around it is water, where my arrows were. But this was farther away from the water. So a water accident, a swimming accident could still totally be a thing, but the lakeside campers, they haven't mentioned anyone from the party coming over to where they were. They saw all these cars coming in, but then they also saw massive amounts of cars leaving right after midnight, around 12:30, which we'll get to in a second. And so by 10:30, the crowd starts getting apparently overwhelming. So then we have a 10:30 to 12-ish time gap here, where apparently the girls were just mingling, doing party things, going back and forth with each other, separating from each other, going pee in the woods together, sharing drinks, sharing cups. You need to remember, Sammy made it really apparent that they were sharing drinks, sharing from the same cup, drinking from the same cup, pretty much matching each other on all of the things. And it's really just kind of to me that she keeps bringing up the fact they drank out of the same cup. Now, it could have been something that the cops said to her to rule out her maybe getting roofied or whatever, but from everything that I'm seeing online, this chick's parents are both lawyers, so she's probably really good at bullshit. So if Miss I'm always underwhelmed at parties Sammy was there at 9 p.m., which gives her a full hour, okay, to have began drinking and doing her little drug things before Kiely even got there. Okay, so we don't even know how inebriated Sammy was, by the time she saw Kiely for the first time that night. Okay? So within a few minutes of getting there, Mags leaves. And like I mentioned, that is super sus as frick to me because she organized it. She helped organize the thing. And I'm sorry, but I'm not going to sit there and put all my time and effort into getting something organized and not try to enjoy it when it's done and over with. And it being her graduation party too, and she just didn't want to go after spending so much time helping put it together, make it make sense. And also around 10:30 is where the ex-boyfriend actually starts hearing back from Kiely. So that's another reason why this gap in between the security footage at 6:08 and the 10:30 response that Jagger finally gets from her is important. Because they're still talking, apparently, even though they're exes. And he was apparently messaging her, like, complaining about his day and what happened. And had been, like, sending messages without a response for, like, quite a while, apparently. And then at 10:30, received just a very vague, "Oh, I'm sorry you're going through that," response from her. After not texting for hours. So, I'm going to reiterate. The silence between her and Jagger and this gap of time we have between the security footage and the party, to me, could mean something. Because I'm going to reiterate. I don't care that the cops say there's a video where she's in the hoodie, and that's proving that she's there. Until they release a still shot that proves that, I don't believe it. And cops are very well known to lie and put false information out there in order to have someone slip up. I mean, there's games. It's a psychological thing that they play. The cat and mouse, okay? So that could have been said literally just to try to pull someone out the woods. Quite literally. But then we have the text messages between Kiely and her mom, Lindsay. Now, what we don't know, and what I wish they would tell us, is what time did Lindsay receive the text from Kiely asking to go to the party? Because from what I'm understanding, that was done via text. They already had plans to do something together, and she received a text saying that she wanted to go to the party instead. What time? What time? She's telling her mom she's leaving at 12:15 to be home by 12:30. But Sammy says that she leaves at 12:30 and tells Kiely that she's leaving and found a ride at 12:30. But then Kiely calls her at 12:36 to ask her if she still needs a ride home. Now, the police reports are saying that her phone last pinged at 12:33. Now, they're saying a specific 12:33. But the speculation is on what made the phone ping, because I think that's only like an activity thing. And this actually makes more sense from other things that I've seen in the past about the possible tower that it pinged off of, because it was very close to where the location actually is, after what I saw today on Grizzly's Live. The problem is that the phone died prior to this phone call that Sammy is claiming that she got. And going back to the campers, not only did they see the vehicles coming in for the party, but they are pretty much all reporting a mass exodus of cars leaving at 12:30. And there can really only be like two things here that would cause a massive amount of people to leave at the exact same time. Because Cinema Shogun made a good point. These people apparently came from like hours away to be at this party, right? And according to the news, okay, like they were allowed to stay overnight and there was no curfew for them to be there. Like they were allowed to spend the night there if they so chose. Okay. So why would you come from hours and hours away to leave a party in 3 hours? So to me, the only thing that moves a herd, okay, is a call or fear. So was there actually another location like some people are stating and everyone was leaving at that exact same time? Or maybe Kiely wanted to leave and go home because she wanted to be home at 12:30 like she told her mom, and Sammy wanted to go to this other location and that's why she actually found another ride? Or is it the fear factor? Did something happen and a majority of the people freaked out and decided to get in their vehicles and leave and not say a word to their parents when they got home about the incident, or not a single one of them decided to call 911? I'm sorry, but by now somebody would have said something if an incident actually happened at the campground that caused everyone to leave. There's no way that this is an entire town cover-up. The only way that that would be the case is if this is like really illegally affiliated, okay? This entire town would only be quiet about a child going missing in the middle of the night if they were scared of the people who did it. Well, I highly doubt they're scared of Sammy, but I still feel in my motherly gut that she is very aware of what happened to Kiely that night and may have even been involved in the situation. And maybe there's a reason why she's so adamant on the fact that she was the last one to speak to Kiely. Maybe she actually was and it just wasn't on the phone. I just had a thought while editing. What if the whole story about Sammy getting a ride from somebody else and not actually leaving with Kiely is like the bullshit? What if she actually did get a ride home from Kiely and something happened between the two of them in the car? But there's also this hoodie situation, okay? First the black hoodie, very specific black hoodie. Then it changed to the complete opposite colors, from dark to bright old white and hot pink. And for days, they allowed us to think that this girl had on a black Lana Del Rey hoodie. Now, I'm just going to say this because this is the truth. The mom didn't say anything. Sammy didn't say anything. They all didn't say anything. They allowed us to believe this entire time that she had this hoodie on. Okay? Now, the mom has come out and said that she knows that the pink and white hoodie is the hoodie that she would have been having on that night, that Kiely would have had on that night. Now, I don't know if that's because the police have showed her video and they needed her to identify which person in the video was Kiely, or if the person wearing the hoodie in the video was Kiely, because the mom wouldn't have been at the party, right? So how would she have even known, especially if Kiely sent her a text about going to the party in the first place? She would have had no idea what she was even wearing. But no one said anything. No one tried to correct the hoodie for days. And could it be because no one knew? Could it be because she was actually wearing the black hoodie? Or could it be she wasn't there? So no one knew if she was wearing the black hoodie or the white hoodie. So no one came forward to correct it because no one saw it to be able to.